Again, for anybody who may have just joined us, I'm Jordan James. I'm over in the Technology Services building with Collaboration Services. Today, we're going to be going over the new Gmail that will be launching tomorrow here at Virginia Commonwealth University. Some of you all maybe have already played around with it in your personal inbox, but tomorrow it will be made available here at VCU. So our agenda, we'll be going through how are you guys going to enable that in your VCU inbox. The major changes, we'll be going over the major feature changes that Gmail is releasing. That's the sidebar, the major actions, the snooze, the smart reply, the mentions. We'll go through the resources that we then have available for you all for any questions you may have after, and then a short Q&A session. So let's jump right into the good stuff, a demo. Questions for you guys. All right, all right. All right, so currently this is our generic VCU inbox. Tomorrow, after we push the launch, you guys will come right over here on the right-hand side to the gear icon, your settings, and you'll see this option, try the new Virginia Commonwealth University mail. You'll select that, and you'll get a nice, cool animation. It may take a few moments. This is a test inbox, so it was very quick, but you guys have a lot more mail, so it may take a few moments, but it'll load up and you'll get the fancy new Gmail. Immediately you can see a lot more colorful, a lot larger. You see this nice, pretty new, large compose inbox, compose button. I apologize. You see now, we can now hide the label section right over here, the labels that we have. This is now a hideable section. You click this, it's hideable. You can go over, it pops out. The contact section in the old inbox that we had, the contact section was actually, there was a mail option. You would click down and your contacts were there. So it's a bit scary at first because you're like, where are my contacts? But your contacts are right here in the app launcher. You select the Google Apps launcher and come down and your contacts are all stored in here. So they are not gone. Do not worry, all right? But back to the labels on the left-hand side. So again, if you want to unhide those, just simply select those three lines, your main menu, those come back out. You can also see they've added this imagery to the label section. You can select that more option to bring it down, to expand your label section. You also see now the display of your mail inbox. Attachments, this is one of my favorite features. Attachments now are displayed in fuller form. Every type of attachment has its own image. So this is a JPEG for forwarded the Telegram. You can now open up these images, any attachments that are attached to a email. You'll select it. And it'll open right up, just the VCU Commonwealth University image. But a better example is going to come right here. Jordan James' little homework assignment. You see it's a selected PDF. You see that file name. You open it right up. You can now preview this document. Go right through, a little SQL for any of you SQL nerds out there. But you can also see that that email has not been opened. So even though I've gone through and I've previewed that email attachment, that message has not been opened. So I can now go through, look at all attachments in my email, but still leave any emails untouched. So I can go back through review. Maybe I've opened that attachment, seen that it's nothing I want to worry about right now, or maybe I now know I can just delete that message. I can delete it or I can leave it for later, but I know I reviewed it. I can even maybe just go ahead and download that attachment if needed and still leave that email unread. So I really like that feature. It does make your inbox a bit bigger now since it's added that bulk to having those attachments, but you can easily play with that density by going, again, right over here to the settings and playing with your display density options. You have that option to choose the default, comfortable, and compact. So this is kind of going back to the traditional views. But again, I recommend that default view that we have, all right? Another big change that you'll see, labs no longer exist. For anybody who's familiar with labs or may be wondering why this account has the chat over to the left-hand side instead of the right side, labs no longer exist currently in the new Gmail inbox. Gmail. They have advanced. They've replaced that with advanced. So you'll go to your settings, select advanced, and now you see some of these new features. They've gone ahead and kind of selected people's favorite features. This will obviously grow, but they've gone ahead. You have, your right side chat. Some users have that on the right-hand side. This one has it on the left-hand side. You have those canned responses, the preview panel, multiple inboxes, but labs are no longer a supported feature in there, all right? So let's hop back out of there, right back into our inbox. Now, the right sidebar, one of our favorite new features. You can easily, within your inbox, go to your calendar now. All right, so your calendar opens up. You see in here, we have a nice little lunch event, but you can also make calendar events now from within your inbox, all right? So just double click, quickly make it. If you're in that early, I get in at 8 a.m., but some of you guys might get in early. Easily invite your guests. Any extensions that you all have, so like in here, if you use like Zoom Scheduler, you will not be able to use that within the inbox. You will have to go ahead and edit within Calendar if you do want to use some of those extensions that you have with your Google Calendar. So those are not currently supported within the calendar, within the Gmail, within Gmail. So you will need to open up the calendar in the full web. So just edit in calendar and you'll open up, and then you'll be able to edit using any of those extensions that you have enabled. So do be aware of that. They will work, they just won't work if you're working with them within that sidebar, all right? Again, you can still go in, RSVP if needed. You can edit them in your calendar, again, if you've created it or you have those permissions. But it's nice to get that quick view. Let's go back, and you can just kind of sort through them quickly, pick your days, your month. It's a great addition. If you're not familiar with Google Keep, great note-taking option. It also has Android, iPhone, and a Chrome extension. It will sync if you're using with your VCU account. If you're using it with your accounts, it will go ahead and just sync with all your accounts. I'll go ahead and show you a cool little feature. Let's say, so we have some homework, right? So we'll open up this homework note. I'm going to take a note on that. This is going to be due Thursday, August 4th. What it's gone ahead to do is noted that resource within that note. All right, so this Google Keep note has also noted that. I keep it done. When I open it up later, it also has noted that message, which is really nice. And if you ever head over to the apps.vcu page, have a question, again, anything, a great resource. Oh, let's get you guys back over there, apps.vcu.edu. Let's say you had a question about generic accounts, maybe delegating an account. We have a lot of documentation on things, and you had the Chrome extension. You could easily select that, make a quick little auto save it. That has now been saved. We'll head back over to the GCapital account, and now it shows up as a recent. This is not a hyperlink, but if you click the menu and you open the full web console for Keep, it does then become a clickable link. So you can just go to that link, and again, it opens that documentation up. Let's go ahead and close some of those tabs. And again, Keep is also a downloadable for iOS and Android. And it will note your emails, any emails that are open. Let's go ahead and close that. Now on to Google Tasks. If you haven't used that, Google Tasks is also has its own full web console, but now is also stored within your Google Mail inbox. I just created some tasks. This was actually for the live stream we had. You can create your tasks. You can even go in and create the subtasks with the date. It's a very useful application. Those subtasks, go in, quickly check them off. Done, completed, nicely done. And let me just quickly see if I can get you to, might have to go to my completed. No, it's not going to take me there. My apologies, you all. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Yeah, so this is the task. Again, this also has a apps and Androids application and will sync up with your accounts if you download that on your mobile devices. That will also work with your iPads iPads or any Android kind of mobile devices that are out there. You do have the option to download plenty of current third-party sidebar applications. You're again kind of working with those at your own risk. There's plenty out there. Google will be adding plenty of their own proprietary sidebar things, but again, those are growing as of right now. We just have those 3 things, and again, the abilities will grow with these, and we're really excited to see how those grow, and we'll be keeping you guys up to date. And again, if you visit apps.vcu.edu, we will keep you updated in our news section with anything new that we see coming. All right. So if we head back over to the inbox section, when you now hover over your mail, you'll see these action items. You can now easily archive, trash. You can mark read and unread, and the fun snooze button. This may be new to a lot of users, but it also may be not new to a lot of users. For anybody who has used Google Inbox, this was a fan favorite among users of Google Inbox, so they brought it on over. This feature allows you to essentially put a message on sleep. The message will quickly disappear from your inbox, so I will do a custom. What time do we have now? I have 12:16. So I will do today for 12:18. The message is going to drop from my inbox, but it will appear back at 12:18 saying, hey, this message was on snooze, just so I know that something needs to be done. It's a great way to not forget about messages, and is a better follow-up to the feature that many people will be seeing soon, Nudge, that is coming, that will kind of let you know, do you need to reply to this message, play off the Google AI technology that kind of scans your messages and lets you know, I believe this is an important message that you need to reply to, but this is the manual version of that, you knowing that this is something that you need to get to, but you don't quite have the time, which is something I think we all kind of deal with, knowing there's something that needs to be done, but we can't get to it right now. And there was a very good question that I can answer pretty quickly. Can you set an auto snooze for when you go on vacation? As of right now, I don't believe there is an auto snooze option. That would probably be delved a little deeper in your filters, but I do not believe currently that there is an option to auto snooze, unfortunately, when you go on vacation. But Google may surprise us and bring that on as a new feature in the future. Good question. Thank you so much. So we then have, with that, the smart replies. So I sent Gracie a nice little let's meet up. You now see which was already on some of your mobile devices if you are an email user on your mobile device. Quickly, sure, what time were you thinking? I'm not available today. This is a great addition. Just quickly select any of them if they apply quickly, and you can just send it off and you're good to go. Again, this is the smart replies option that Google had. This is a part of the Google AI feature that Google runs that scans through your emails, kind of learning and learning your messages and trying to make it easier to make you more productive throughout your day. So it's a great feature. Again, if you are using anything on your mobile devices, that feature was already on a lot of your mobile devices, the smart reply feature, which I used all the time when I was in a rush. And we'll jump over to the compose, so back into the inbox. If you look at the compose, Google has not removed anything of the compose. You still can add the images, linking from your file, label. A fun thing is, let me see if I can get, oh, it doesn't have it. But so I'll go ahead and write an email to myself, just do a quick test. But there's now the mentions, which is definitely a play off anybody that's on Facebook largely, Instagram, Twitter. You can now @ a user. So you can use the @ or the plus. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do @ Rodney Schaefer. That automatically added Rodney to the to line. So if I was writing an email where I was writing in reference to Rodney in the body of the paragraph, but also needed that email to go out to Rodney, this will automatically load that user into the to line while also keeping them in the body of the email. Do note, and also let me show you with the plus, it does the same thing. Again, Rodney. It does keep it hyperlinked. So when you send the email out, it does keep them hyperlinked. So if you send it out like Rodney and I, will be there. It's going to show it as a hyperlinked thing. It's not going to just unhyperlink it or remove the @ and the plus yet. Maybe in the future, but currently as it looks is how it would go out, but it will add that user also to the to line. There currently are no special ways to add that user to CC or blind copy. You would have to just manually move them there. You wanted them to go somewhere else. It will only move them to that to. But it is a quick and kind of cool way to add that user to the to line. Or if you kind of were forgetting somebody at the end of the email, it's a fun way, but it definitely is using, what we're all kind of used to in our day-to-day social media usage. So that's a fun little thing. And a couple other things we just kind of wanted to show you guys and go back over. Again, the display density, because some people don't like to expand it. Again, simply settings, display density, you can change it back to your kind of what you're used to, your basic paperclip, and even your compact, which just draws it up a little tighter. We definitely want to get you guys, for anybody who doesn't already, the important and the starred features in your inbox. The star just kind of notes anything reference. A star will put it in this starred label that you have. It's a good way for any emails that you want to go back and we'll be referring to later. It will quickly put those messages in that folder for quick reference. The importance is a great way. It's a learning tool for your inbox that will teach your inbox how, what emails are important to you. And Google will start to flag those emails as important. Those emails will show up under the important label, and those will start to appear depending on the different options that you have and the way in which you can display your emails in your inbox. They will display at the top of your inbox. And again, they will organize and be pushed into that label. There's different filters you can set to the way that those will appear and or not appear. And again, it's the whole way of Google learning you. It allows Google to better learn you, and it can give you an overall better experience in the way that you use it. Some people, and a lot of questions that we get, so Google doesn't technically have folders. All of these, the star, the snooze, the important, all mail is your archive. So when you get a message and you go ahead and archive it, it just drops into your all mail. It doesn't go to a specific archive folder. It drops right back into your all mail where you can search it at any time. As long as it doesn't drop into, as long as it isn't deleted, it can be found in your all mail. So that's where that is, okay? Sorry. And for noting what I didn't go through, and I apologize for when I talked to Snooze, if for any reason you need to get to a Snooze email before it's come back, so simply select the snoozed label. That's where all those messages will be before then. But what we also wanted to share with you guys was in your settings, under labels, you have the option of showing and hiding particular labels. And a lot of times your trash and all mail is automatically hidden already. So that means that in order to see it, you have to select the more option. So we suggest selecting the show so you don't, your spam, you can hide that. But your trash and your all mail, just select to show that. So that's not hidden under the more, because there's a lot of times where you accidentally, delete something or you even archive something and it just drops out of your view and it needs to be found. So that's just something we see a lot. So we wanted to kind of share that with you all. But this is also just something good to know that exists in your settings, the label show and hide. It's kind of those hidden things. Your filters is a good thing to kind of know about if you want to organize your folder. Being able just to filter out anything for a lot of users. If there's a particular message that you constantly get and you want to create a label for it and you want it to automatically go there, you can create a filter for it. You can create a filter for your Telegram. You can create filters. Currently for my manager, I was struggling with working to ensure that I was getting back with my director. So I created a filter that automatically marked those messages important so that I was ensuring that, my inbox was marking those important so that I could make sure I got back with them. So again, that's one of those things where Google was learning that, that user was important and I was also getting back to them. So it worked for everybody great. So that's a little hidden gem that we have in our inbox that I love. Creating your labels, again, because they're not folders in Gmail, they are labels. Simply create your labels. You can nest them under anything else. So if we just did a little test. Oh. well, I would need, I would be creating multiple. So let's create a test. And I could, and that's my test two under my, test. So it's easy to organize. It can be a lot. We get a lot of mail here, but these are just small things that are really good to know. And with the new Gmail, there are just so many ways that Google is wanting to learn us and wanting to help us get organized and wanting to raise our productivity. So hopefully tomorrow you all choose to switch over. You will be able to switch back. Right now, there is no date that Google has notified us or essentially has set that the old one is going away. Once we are notified, when you go to apps.vcu.edu, there will be a news alert, and most likely that will be probably posted in a Telegram or some kind of news item that will let you all know, hey, this change is coming. And also Google will probably put out a little notice. You'll see, this is how long you have until Classic goes away. But yeah. So let's get back to our slideshow to look at, let me just show you guys Nudge, just because I know we're not able to show that. Nudge is a full functioning feature. We have not seen it in full usage yet. It has not popped up in any of our inboxes, but as you'll see on the screen, it displays exactly as shown. It will say received 3 days ago, reply sent 5 days ago, follow up. It'll be a fun, quick question. And it'll be extremely helpful in getting you back on track with anything. Again, that'll be with Google's AI, so that'll be with the scanning of your email, and it'll be making that assumption that there will be an option to shut that off. It'll be in your settings. You'll go under General, and you'll see an option for Nudge, and you'll be able to shut that off completely if you just find that it's just more of an annoyance rather than something that's actually helping you follow up with emails and keeping you track on your day-to-day. So it won't be something that you have to use if you find it annoying. So that'll be good. For the resources, a really good resource, the What's New, that's with Google. That just goes through everything new that you'll need to know through Google. The Google Gmail cheat sheet, that just goes through every small detail, kind of where everything's located. As we spoke about, nothing has been removed. Things have just been changed around and added. Only thing has been completely removed when in regards to removal have been the labs, but again, those were not official Google services. Those were kind of trial things that they allowed people to test. With collaboration services, Dr. G, you can email us quickly at that. We always have somebody from usually 7:30 until 4:30 is on shift. Training can be set up through our appointment, and also again, apps.vcu.edu. We have training information on there. And if a